Well met, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Cobblemon. In this episode, I am going to be talking about berries. In Cobblemon, there are way more berries than vanilla Minecraft, and we can even start berry farms to breed berries and mutate them so that we can get different types of berries. It's all very complex, and I was having a hard time putting a chart together to come up with a way to get the berries that I want, but ultimately I am going to be trying to breed for Starf berries today. Starf berries double my chances of fishing up shiny Pokémon, and as far as I know, that's the only way to increase my shiny odds in this game. So let me make a little farm for the berries that I already have, and then I'll do a build around that, and hopefully we can get all the berries we need to get a Starf berry, and maybe by the end of this episode we can use it to try and fish up a shiny Pokémon. Onward to the video. Okay, so to make mulch, we need a couple of things. First is some paper. So I have a bunch of sugarcane here. I'm just going to turn all of it into paper. Now that we have paper, we can actually turn this into mulch. So by putting paper in the corner, dirt blocks right next to it, bone meal on top of that, and rotten flesh actually makes mulch, which I think is amazing that this mod actually gives a reason to keep rotten flesh so you can use it. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of mulch. It would make 24, not bad. Okay, so get your mulch, and you can do a couple of different things with it. You can use some regular dirt to get what's called loamy mulch. That will help certain types of berries that prefer like plains biomes to grow. You can also use coarse dirt to make coarse mulch, and that'll help berries that prefer mountain climates. You can also use moss to create peat mulch, which also helps berries in a different biome. And there's even sandy mulch. You can also create growth mulch if we have extra bone meal that we want to use. This will just help berries grow faster, or rather give more berries on the berry trees. We can even use blaze powder to give us what's called rich mulch. That'll give us the best increase to our field harvest with berries. But I don't have any of that I want to use at the moment. Okay, so I've already got a sort of berry farm going on here, and now I want to make a greenhouse around it. I figured I might as well get some berries growing while I'm building around them so that I'm not having to wait as long later on. Let's just hop into the time lapse, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And here it is. I think this turned out pretty well. Let's have a look. I like the idea of just having stone on some of the edges, but have most of the build be actually green glass. Since this is a greenhouse, I thought that made a lot of sense. Also want to just place a stair there and a stair there, give it a little bit more depth. And I really like sort of the overhang things at the top. I think it gives it a cool Nordic look, especially since this is a very kind of tall oval shape. Almost looks like a long house, but this is my greenhouse. I suppose this could be my green long house, because this is a pretty long build. This is where I'm gonna grow all of my berries. And it's cool, you can just see right through the glass, and it's not tinted glass, so mobs shouldn't spawn in there if it's dark. But I did put some lanterns in here to give it some light. I'm also thinking I should get some glow berries to hang from the ceiling as well. I think that would look really nice and add to the aesthetic. It looks like we've had some berries, so I'm just gonna pick these up. And I'm still waiting for these 2 berries to mutate. One of the berries that I still need is called a figgy berry, and once I have that, I can work on getting the next berry, which should be a tuga berry. And then once I have a tuga berry, I can work on getting a tomato berry, and from there I should be able to get the rest that I need to get a starf berry. So that's how these are organized. These 2 mutate and give me things to give me the next thing. These 2 things mutate so I can get the next thing. Then I'll plant ones here and ones here to get the next 2 things, to plant them here and here. These plants here will be starfberry trees. At least that's the hope. And then I've got a chest here, and this is where I'm just putting all of the berry yields that I get. And it's looking quite colorful. There are a lot of colorful berries in this game. Oh, looks like these ones just grew. Is there any mutated things? No, that's a shame. I've gotten a couple of lumberries from these 2 plants, so I'm hoping that I did these 2 properly. I might double check really quick. Hold on. Yeah, so I need to do a cherry tree with a persimmon tree. That's what these are, so it's just taking a while to get a mutated one, unfortunately. I can do certain things to improve my odds of getting something mutated, but for that I need a glistening melon, and I'm nowhere close to having a farmer trade for that. So just gonna leave this up to the berry luck, and hopefully it doesn't happen too much longer now. So we're in our greenhouse here, and this is taking a while. I did learn that you can actually just bone meal these to speed up the process. So I'm gonna try and get a lot of bone meal, and hopefully we can get the berries that we need a lot more quickly. And speaking of, that right there is the very berry I was talking about, the figgy berry. So let me get a figgy tree and we will continue this process. So I'll just kind of speed through it for you guys, and hopefully by the end I've got a starf berry. We did it! Oh my gosh! We got a starf berry! Okay, starf berries are kind of cool because they raise a random stat by 2 when at a quarter of max HP or less. It's like a cool gamble you can take if your Pokemon gets very close to being weak. But this, the fishing bait effect, is why I wanted the starf berry. 100% to give a 2 times shiny chance. I mean, that's just gonna cut the odds in half, so I'm very excited about that, and I'm planning on incorporating even more ways to increase my shiny chances. In fact, now that I have this berry, I'm gonna plant a tree for it, of course, but I also want to adjust the shiny odds for my version of the game. I don't want to be called out for cheating or anything. This is how I like to play Minecraft. And I just want to adjust the odds of shinies to match what the current games are. Current games are about half the odds of the original games, so it makes a big difference. I'm honestly very surprised that I already found a shiny with the crazy high odds that are the default for Cobblemon. So I think I do want to adjust that. I'm also going to look at seeing if there's a way to add shiny charms to this mod as well, because I would love to be able to get the materials to craft that and apply it to my fishing rod or something to be able to further increase my shiny odds. But in the meantime, let me get this planted. Okay, so now that we have Starf berries. I'm just gonna bone meal them for a while and try and get as many as I can. I want to try and get probably a stack or so, and I just want to try fishing with them and see if I can get a shiny Pokemon today. Okay, I got 61. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my rod. I'm also curious if I can put other berries and have like 2 at once. Okay, unfortunately, it doesn't do 2 at once, but we do have a stack of them on our rod. So now that I've got these special berries, I'm gonna see if I can get a shiny within the amount of berries that I have on my rod. If I do, that'll be my capture for today. If I don't, then we'll go into a regular capture quest. Onward to the fishing hut. Before we continue on, I just wanted to take a break really quick to give you a heads up. I have gotten some great comments on some of these videos, and I've gotten some great name suggestions for Quaxley and for Cloth. I also got some great name suggestions for my dogs, which I got very early on in this series. I'm going to be naming my dogs Jack, and this one over here will be Jill. So we'll have Jack and Jill as dogs, and for our Pokemon here, let's open up the menu. I'm going to name Quaxwell Donald. Thank you for leaving that name in the comments below. And I'm going to name Cloth Crabstick. Crabstick with a K, because Cloth is spelled with a K. Thank you so much for leaving those comments. I really appreciate it. I also still need name suggestions for my Armarouge and for my Amara, as well as my Shiny Ledian. So be sure to comment down below any name suggestions you have for those Pokemon. I'll be sure to go through them and pick out some of them to name them. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so now that I've got all the Starf berries, I'm gonna go fishing. And I know I've already done a fishing episode, but I really enjoyed it, and fishing was a great way for me to gain levels on my Pokemon, get some food, which was also very cool, and just find some cool Pokemon. So I'm gonna see what I fish up. If I don't get a shiny, we'll move on to a regular capture quest. Looks like we've also found Magikarp with a unique pattern. I'll scan it here and let's actually just take a look here. So if we look at Magikarp, we actually have the entry data for it because we have caught one before. And we can see things like its abilities, its height, stats, etc. Also its drops. But as you can see, there's a button here called Pattern. And if we look through these, I guess I've only scanned 2 patterns. So this one and one that's blue. And these all come from Magikarp Jump, which is super cool. I love that these are included in this Cobblemon mod. And I'm actually thinking of collecting all of these different variations in the future. I have a plan to make a big fishing tank somewhere that's just going to be full of all of these variations that I catch. So be sure you subscribe for when I do that in a future episode. Anyway, let's just get right back to it. What? I just fished up a Vaporeon? Oh my goodness, wow. What are the chances? Hold on. Okay, this thing is apparently ultra rare, like just as rare as finding a starter. That is crazy. Let's see, I've got 18 Starf berries left. I almost don't want to take you out. Maybe I'll just sleep. Yeah, let's just sleep. I'll leave it alone. Oh, Vaporeon, super cool. Vaporeon isn't technically a super rare Pokemon, but because like while fishing, that was like one of the rarest things we could have fished up. That's very cool. So I'm just gonna let you chill there, I guess, while I fish about 18 more times. Alright, unfortunately, no shiny Pokemon, but that's to be expected. The shiny odds are pretty high, even if you double them. So in that case, let's move on to today's capture quest. This one I'm pretty stoked about. Today, we are going after Sylveon. We actually found Vaporeon earlier while fishing, so I find it kind of ironic that we're going after Sylveon in today's capture quest. Now, we can catch an Eevee. However, because it can split in so many different ways, we need to evolve it into Sylveon for it to count for this capture quest. Now, Sylveon requires friendship to evolve, which can be a tedious process, but I've got a few ways to help with that. Let me show you. Alright, if you can see here, I've got a number of apricorns and iron in my inventory. That means we're gonna craft ourselves a Pokeball. And the Pokeball we are crafting today, it's called a Friend Ball. And as you can see from this description, it says, caught Pokemon start with 150 friendship. Most evolutions, I'm pretty sure all friendship evolutions only need 160. So if you have 150, you're only 10 away. So I'm just gonna craft a bunch of these. Boom. Okay, 44. So hopefully that is enough to catch an Eevee. Probably will be. We could also craft a Soothe Bell, which will boost the holder's friendship gain. So I'll just make one of those now. And let's go on the hunt for an Eevee, or if we're very lucky, even find a Sylveon. Okay, we've made it to this village. Let's have a look around. If we look at our map, we can already see there's a lot of dog-like Pokemon, as well as some cat-like Pokemon just spawning, and that's exactly what we want to see. So hopefully one of these will become an Eevee. We got one. Alright, let's make sure we don't lose it. So it's to my left. There it is. Level 29. Okay, let's have Mara take care of this. Okay, we got a male Eevee at level 29. Perfect. And our Amara's level 31, so you should be able to take care of this. Use Icy Wind. Hopefully that doesn't do too much. It's 30%. Okay, that's not bad. I don't want to risk a high roll or a crit or anything, so let's throw a Pokeball. Wow, that barely did anything. Keep trying. Oh, that was so close. Titan. Apparently he wants to get in on the action too. This is why I made a lot of these. Come on, Eevee, be my friend, please. Stay in the Pokeball. Oh, so close. One, two, three. Let's go! Yes! Okay. Well done, Amara. Thank you for taking all of those hits. Titan, let's go home, buddy. Come on. We need to go find our new friend. Get him out of the PC. Alright, thanks for your help, Titan. Hopefully that was a good bonding experience. I feel like it's been a while since we've ridden out together. But let's get to our PC. Alright, let's go heal up our new Eevee first, and then we'll take a look at its stats. Oh, you are so adorable. Alright, let's have a look here. So, normal type with a jolly nature and the ability Run Away, which means you can always get away from wild Pokemon. Can be useful in a lot of instances. You know, Bite, Refresh, Baby Doll Eyes, and Quick Attack. Baby Doll Eyes is really important because that is a fairy type move, and for Eevee to evolve into Sylveon, it needs to know a fairy type move when it reaches the friendship level that If you look at its stats, special attack for speed. So, not the greatest for a Sylveon, but that's okay. Very split IVs, special attacks really high, defense really high. Nothing crazy, and then of course no EVs. But if we look here, its friendship is at 150. So we only need to fill in the rest of that heart, and then it should be ready to evolve. So that's really exciting. But there's actually something I wanted to show you guys before I evolve it. Come here, little buddy. We can put certain Pokemon on our shoulder. And this will actually also help build friendship faster, so just like a really cool thing. But now I could just walk around with my little friend on my shoulder here. I think this is super, super cool. I don't think we'll be able to do this as soon as it evolves, so I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts. But there are a few other Pokemon that can do this. I know that Pikachu is able to do this, and I think a few other smaller Pokemon can as well. Shoulder mounts are very cool, and you can find a whole list of them on the official Cobblemon wiki, which I will put a link in the description. Looks like we got some rain. I am also going to give the Soothe Bell to Eevee here, so let me dismount you. We have the Soothe Bell here. We just shift and right click, and we can change your held item. Make sure it's in your hand. There we go. Now you're holding that, and you can just come right on my shoulder again. The Soothe Bell will help increase the friendship quite drastically, so we should be able to get the evolution to Sylveon real quick. Let's get out of this rain. Beautiful rainbow after a rainy day. Whoa, look at that. Let's go scan it. I think that's Araquanid. I might have already sat. Oh, there's an Eevee right here too. Wow, level 42. We're starting to see some pretty powerful Pokemon. Hello, little Eevee. You're level 32. Okay. You're a female Eevee. That's adorable. Unfortunately, we've already captured Eevee for today, so if I get another capture quest for an evolution, I will be coming back for you. Eevee do spawn around here. They're just more likely to spawn in villages, so depends how patient I feel like being for that day. But it's been a few minutes. Let's actually just look at the friendship right now. Yeah, look at that. It's at 152, and all I've done is walk around for 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna do a few more things, and I'll let you know when we can evolve him into a Sylveon. Oh, wait, there you go. We just heard it. Eevee just reached its friendship that it needs, and it got 2 ready to evolve notifications, which makes sense. Eevee has 3 different friendship evolutions. Espeon, as you can see here. Sylveon is also here. And then Umbreon is another one that could only happen at night. I want to see what happens if I evolve Eevee while it's on my shoulder. So let's do that. Got Eevee here. We're going to evolve it, and we're going to evolve it into a Sylveon. Oh. I guess it just disappeared off my shoulder and went back into its Pokeball. Oh well. Anyway, let's take a look at our friend here. Ah, look at that. Yeah, there's no way this thing would have fit on my shoulder. It is much, much bigger. But if we take a look at its stats now, it has a new ability, Cute Charm. May cause infatuation when a Pokemon gets in contact with this Pokemon. Let's see if you've got any new moves. You got Disarming Voice, you've got Fairy Wind, Charm, I don't think that was new. Oh, you got Trump Card, okay. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think Disarming Voice is worth putting in here. And let's have a look at your stats. Yeah, your special defense, special attack went up a lot, though that special attack down nature is a bit of a shame. And your friendship is at 160. Welcome to the team, Sylveon. And just a quick reminder, I am always looking in the comments for names for any of my Pokemon, so if you have an idea on what I should name the Sylveon, leave a comment down below. And while you're at it, maybe consider subscribing. I hope you guys are enjoying the content that I make, and if you are, you might as well hit that subscribe button so you are always notified whenever I upload a new video. You might also want to double check if you're subscribed. You might have been seeing some of my videos and watching them without even realizing that you're not subscribed yet. So I'd really appreciate it if you check. Alright, and with our capture quest done, that marks the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit more informative than usual, but I find the berries to be fascinating. There's so much we can do with them, and I hope to be able to utilize them more in the future. Again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, farewell. Alright, that was pretty good. What do you think?